Yes, that's why I'm doing inquiry. I don't want to jump into the conclusion. That's why we're suspending. We do the inquiry.
I just wonder about your timing, because if you're saying this is not the first time you're hearing of it,
what happened? It's also disturbing the preparation. Because I don't know if those players knows about the interest. Because once the players they know about those interests, they might even not giving us all what they should give to us. That's the problem.
And you think that disturbance is smaller than the disturbance of removing a coach during the playoffs?
It warrant. We don't want those type of things. Me, I feel like that. If I'm wrong, I make mistakes, fine. If you feel it is wrong, you be the judge. But I've got the right to do the inquiry.
When you guys, as far as I knew, Chair, the last time we spoke, you were saying about how you and Dan Dance communicate and how you're very hands-on in running the club. I just wonder, when these rumors come, I'm assuming you had a conversation with the coach. How did that conversation go when you said to the coach, Coach, these are the rumors?
No, I didn't have any conversation with him.
You didn't feel as the chairman you owe him to say, what are you saying? This is the rumor?
No. I'm doing the inquiry. I'm busy with the inquiry.
If the inquiry
you want the reason why we're suspending. I'm telling you the reason why we're suspending. You're not happy about that?
I'm not happy, Chair. I'm very happy with your decision. It is your decision at your club. I'm just trying to get the reason.
You can come back. You can come with your own conclusion. That's why I'm doing the inquiry.
And the result of the inquiry will then guide you as to what you do next?
If it is necessary. It's not everything that it should be public knowledge, yeah? If it is necessary.
Okay. No, I completely understand that. And then you went and got a new coach, of course, in place of Dan Dance.
Yes, the team must participate. The team must order the fixture.
Tell me about why Morgan.
Morgan is the coach that he can coach any team, and he was available. Other coaches are not available.
And today the result, I'm sure you feel favored you as well. You're back in it as far as the playoffs are concerned. Do you feel Morgan is the guy that can take you to the DSTV Premiership?
Yes, of course. The today results they are good for us if we're gonna win our home match. It's not good if we're not gonna win our home match. If we win our home match, the result for today, they're good for us.
And lastly, before I let you go, to the Mpatlele, when Dan took over the team, I think you were sitting in 15th place and you said all you wanted was promotion. He's obviously not going to get an opportunity to fulfill that. What is the relationship now between you and the coach? Is it something that could be resolved?
Look, I'm employee, he's employee. It's not a relationship. I don't have a relationship with him. It's an employer and an employee relationship. He do his work, I do my work. It ends up there.
I wonder, you speak about hearing mahebe and rumors. I've heard mahebe and rumors about how you were unsatisfactory and you were not happy with some of the substitutions he made in the Tuks game.
No, that is part of the game, of course. We can't always agree with that. And it doesn't happen. It's not once. It done that so many times, which I disagree with him. That was not the first time. But that's not the reason why we're suspending. Because we a lot of the things which we did, which he did, which we did not. I did not agree with him. It is part of the game. He sees something which we don't see. We saw something which he doesn't see. It's part of the game.
Do you think if it had carried on, and I know this is a wild out there, but Dan feels like he could have qualified you?
Can you come again?
I'm saying Dan feels he could have qualified this team in this playoffs. You didn't consider keeping him until the end of the playoffs before this inquiry?
No. we feel that we can carry on well is here with those type of rumor. We want the boys to be clear on their head. We don't want those type of the rumors to hover around us.
Dr. Kurishi Patlele, I wish you the best of luck. I always enjoy our conversations. So when we're in the DSTV Premiership, hopefully if you make it, we'll have a lot more of these. And just so you remember next time, even when you hear this voice, it's Andy.
No, you sound like, Robert must have taught you.
Well, listen, he's the legend. He's the legend here.
Your line of questioning is just exactly like Robert.
I'm very happy to hear that. He's done an amazing job.
Tell him that I'm saying that.
No, 100%. I appreciate that, Dr. Kurishi Patlele. It's a huge compliment.
You're doing wonderful work. We need people like you in this box.
I appreciate it. Kurishi Patlele, that's a huge compliment. 27 after the hour 6. So the chairman of Baroka Football Club joining us there to have a conversation. Dan Dance Malesela, the coach, or former coach now at Baroka, joins us on the line as well. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. A friend of the room, of course, Dan. Terribly sorry to hear that you've been suspended.
Yeah, no, evening, but it's fine. It's fine.
Did you know why you were suspended? Were you told why you were suspended?
Well, it's about an investigation that is going on with the club about what happened before the match and after the match. That's what I know. That is what is in the letter that I was given.
Please, because I mean, I've just heard a different version. So perhaps if you can tell us what the letter said in comparison, then I'll be able to articulate to you what we've been told by the chairman. What was the reasoning given to you in the letter by the club?
The letter says that I'm suspended due to an issue that they're investigating that happened before and after the match of the University of Pretoria.
It doesn't say what the issue is?
Yeah, I asked, what the issue was, and the chairman said, no, we can't tell you what we are investigating you about, but we will investigate and tell you what is happening. If there's an inquiry that has to be done, then there will be an inquiry. If you have to appear before the DC, then let it happen. But I know for a fact there's nothing like that.
So what the conversation I've just had with the chairman now, the chairman says you're being investigated because of your conversation with DSTV Premiership chairman when they do call you or when they have called you, and he says he knows who they are, he knows what teams they're coming from. They've called you about players that play at Baroka.
Players about what?
I don't know. You tell me. He says it's an inquiry, so he doesn't know. The chairman of DSTV Premiership teams have called you to inquire about players at Baroka.
And the fact of the matter is that unusual to other clubs, that I've been with before. I don't even know what is happening in the contracts of the players, and he will be bear testimony to that. I don't know what are in the contracts of the players and all of that, because I usually help clubs, in terms of when they sign a player or when they have a contract. I said, no, this one you should do this one you shouldn't do that, because sometimes clubs will sign a player and then they overcharge. Players are overcharged because of the agents and all of these things, and I will tell them, this one, no, don't go that high, this one, don't go that low, give him a good salary, give him what, so this one I didn't even know. I don't even know a single player's contract. All I know is, coach, my contract is ending this season. Are you keeping me and all these things, or are you going to do this? And I said, let's see what happens with the current season.
But then have you had any DSTV Premiership chairman or any chairman for that matter approach you about players?
I got a call. I got a text from one person, and I told my technical team, I said, look at this guy. He's saying he wants this player. just one message. But I didn't take it serious. I have never spoken to anyone about any player.
So then, according to you, if that's not it, because that really can't be it for me. I'm listening to that. It can't be it. What I'm saying, and I hear it saying that that's all you've received. I'm saying then, Dan, then there's no ways that one text with you that you even openly shared with your technical team, because there was no secrecy to it. There's no ways that that's the reason you're under investigation and suspended. Why do you think you were fired or suspended?
No,
rather?
I know. You know, I know that some technical members will I don't know the right word, but they will take this thing as if it's something else, you know. And the person who sent the text is somebody I worked for, and I know how he is, and I wouldn't even be able to say I recommend a player to him, because
to cheaper.
I've produced players for him, and he didn't give me a cent, so I don't even care about that. But that was nothing. That's why I shared with the technical team there, and I laughed at it, and I said, look at this guy. He's saying no, he wants this particular player, and he's just not really making sense to me, you know, because I won't give that boy to him. I wouldn't give any player to anybody. I'm not in the business of giving people players and all of that. I don't deal with issues of players and what they want to do and what. I want players to choose for themselves, because I always advise my players to say, look, you must choose the right team for you. Don't choose a team where you may be sitting on the bench or anything like that, or you're going to be loaned. Choose the right team for you. Look if you're going to fit in that team.
So Chipapeng is to send you.
I manage players in a way that I also manage their careers. I don't only manage them as players for me. I manage them for their careers, whether it's with the club or going ahead. You know, if you are sold, you must know where you're being sold to.
So then, I need to know something. Chipapeng has to send you this text. You don't even entertain it. You don't even reply to it, correct? And then
I don't say, no, I don't want to say Chipa send me the message.
So it's not Chipa?
No, it's not.
Okay. So you get a message from a chairman. You look at it. You don't even entertain it. You go on with your life.
I didn't even respond.
You don't even respond
to the message.
So now you're back. You're at the end of the game. A day later, you get suspended. I'm asking you now, Dan, because you're an intelligent man. Why do you think you're being suspended?
It's just being trigger happy.
What do you mean?
I just think the chairman got excited over things. Not excited as in being excited. I think he was just angry at the time because of the substitute made, you know, and I wouldn't have gone to this boy and said, don't pass here, pass there, don't make a mistake, you know.
The Maleba for...
But I don't think in his sane mind he really meant what he did to me. He just got excited in terms of saying, no, I'm getting rid of the coach.
Is this the Sydney for Kagiso substitution?
I don't think even now he thinks that it was the right decision. I don't think he did. Me and him have a very close relationship. We fight.
That's not what he just said. He says he's an employer and you're just an employee. You don't have a relationship. He says all you are is a person that works for him.
No, we have. We have a serious relationship.
I said that to him, Dan. He blatantly said you're just an employee.
No. That's playing for the gallery. We have, you know.
He even says he didn't speak to you personally. I'm shocked you're saying he spoke to you personally.
No, even on my birthday on the last week, you know, the 27th of May, he was with me. You know, and somebody who doesn't have a relationship with you, employee, employer, would not do that. You know, he bought me meat and a few drinks and all of that, you know, and we sat together. And it was not the first time. We always sit together. We always discuss. We always agree to disagree, or we agree or we don't agree, we fight, and I explain to him why this reason, why that reason.
Is there a way out of this, Dan?
He's not far away from me. Me and the chairman, I stayed at the village. I spend time, my whole time is at the village. And he knows I don't go around and going around the walk home or anything. I only know the village. And he will be at the village for a long time. And sometimes we sit together and we talk.
What do you, according to knowing him the way you're saying and knowing yourself, and also I'm looking at the fact that, you've had trigger-happy bosses before, and you've had a relationship where you kept going back. Is there a way out of this? Is there a way where this gets resolved and Dan Dance goes back to Baroka according to where you sit now?
No, so legally I'm suspended, and I'm not fired, so I'm suspended. If anything goes wrong and the chairman says go back, I'm obliged to go back, because if I don't legally, I'll be at default.
A breach of... Yeah.
There is nothing that I can do but to go back. And professional as I am, I would not even hold a grudge. I've gone back to clubs where the things were bad and worse. So I understand.
Dan, I don't know if there's a resolve to this, but I think you guys clearly need to have some sort of conversation on that friendship level that you speak of, because it seems you're on two different levels of understanding as to why you're even suspended. You did such a great job to get the team here, taking them from 15th, which is something that I did mention to the chair, to his acknowledgement. With Morgan now being hired to finish off the playoffs, I wonder if there's space back for you to finish the job that you started.
No, Andile, for me, it's not about going back or not going back. It's about me being professional and doing my job. If you are asked to do this, I will do it. I will do it, and I will not be different, and I will not be untoward to anybody else or to the chairman. I'm human, and if anybody does not believe that they are human, then they must look at something else, because I work for football, and I will work for football every time. There are kids that I need to take care of more than anybody else. These kids have been with me for such a long time, and they have an attachment with me. I made them understand me, and I made myself to understand them. And I'm sure that wherever they are, something is untoward for them. And I'm not saying I must take credit for whatever, but I found these kids not knowing. Now people are phoning, and they're phoning anybody else or whoever that they are phoning, for them to have something else. So it's not about me, it's about these kids, because their careers are important. I'm going to leave this game sooner than they will be expanding their careers.
Dan, I wish you the best of luck. I had a whole monologue about you yesterday. I think I'm going to send it to you, because I think there was all my feelings on your coaching career. But I wish you the very best of luck, and thank you so much for always coming out and talking to us.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. That's Dan Dance Malasela. It's 1840. I think we're going to go straight to Fadlu Davids next.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
Cass Naidoo is out in the USA, one of the best cricket commentators in the world.
The surface wasn't ideal for a T20 game, and I think South Africa were lucky to have, Sri Lanka decided to bat first. They should have actually bowled first. But there were so many good signs, right? Anrik Nortje's back, the Proteas batting unit is strong, Keshav Maharaj is looking good. But we've seen this movie before. South Africa have started well. They do well in the group stages. And I think we all are going to go through the motions in this journey. And we want to see South Africa get across that semi-final line. And perhaps that's why the fans are kind of holding back, because there's been so many years of disappointment.
Yeah.
6 to 7 p.m. Let the good times roll. Turn it up. It's Metro FM, the biggest commercial radio station in the land. We won't stop. Keep it locked Tim Zanzi's favorite radio station. Non-stop entertainment with nothing but the best. Let's go. We are the heartbeat of the nation. Metro FM. It's where you want to be. Sports Night Amplified with Ndile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
It's exactly 18:41 on the mighty Metro FM. It's South Africa's most listened to radio show and Africa's favorite. Welcome to it. Joining me now is another one who is Africa's favorite right now, North Africa anyway. An import from South Africa. So happy to have him on the air. Fadlu Davids, assistant coach at Raja Casablanca, assisting former Orlando Pirates coach Joseph Zimbauer, and doing an amazing job at it. Fadlu, thank you so much for talking to us, and congratulations on, an amazing season.
Good evening, and thank you for your listeners, and fantastic to be here.
Coach, you guys have done so well, yourself and Joseph Zimbauer. That relationship seems to be very pocket deep and knee deep. It seems to be entrenched in true blood, that something that happened here in South Africa and he's taken you all around the world. A special bond, that, huh?
Yeah, we've at Orlando Pirates, I think, coming in as a foreign coach, having a local assistant is not always easy, but I think once we gained the trust and we saw football in a similar way, it was easy then to be able to work together. We now on this journey to rebuild the club Raja Casablanca, and let's see, one game to go. It's not over yet, but we'll try to do our best to have the invincible season.
One game to go to win it all and have an invincible season. I mean, we saw it play out here in South Africa just a week or so ago. That's the kind of work that you guys have done there. Talk to me about the league, that side. I mean, we don't get to get it, we only get to see it when it gets to Champions League. But talk to me about the difficulty, the professionalism of the league. They're working for a club as entrenched and as big as Raja.
Yeah, I think you have to go back to when we joined. I think we joined 3 games to go of last season. The club ended 5th. 4 games to go, we won 2 and we drew 2. And then we were in the semi-final of the cup against Wydad. We beat Wydad and lost in the final against Berkane, having a man sent down in the first few minutes of the final. So we had a taste of the squad of the season last season, but the club ended 5th. So it was about rebuilding the club, getting it back to Africa and getting it back. It's a huge institution, a fantastic fan base, 30 to 45,000 every week filled up in our home stadium. That is now subsequently been closed down because of they renovating for AFCON. But fantastic. We played our first 10 league matches of the season. We played there. It was unbelievable experience playing at that stadium, and it's just such a passionate club with passionate fans, and it's unbelievable what we've achieved so far to get the club back to be back in the Champions League first of all, and really a huge opportunity for us to make history. You can see the club points, Sundowns, I think they've broken the record this season with 73 points. And if we win our last match, we'll get to 72, which is also a record for our club. So 1 game to go. You don't want to count your chickens before, but a lot of focus, a lot of energy put into this last game, because it's a team we're playing that also needs to win to be able to avoid relegation. So definitely not an easy match, but we will travel to Ujda to play the final match, and then we still have the semi-final of the cup left after that.
You've been in South Africa long enough, from starting out as a coach, playing even, all the way to the biggest club here in South Africa, in Orlando Pirates, one of the biggest anyway. When you look at the level of football, and I'm talking about, the ability of the players and the technical and tactical knowledge of the game from our players' point of view, where do you place, if you were to measure up the two, Coach, where do you place where you are there compared to where we are here in South Africa?
I don't think we give our players enough credit. I think technically, skill-wise, our players are on a far, far superior level. I think the difference here is tactically they slightly better. They grow up in a 4-3-3 education system where all of the teams more or less play 4-3-3. You'll have your townships like you have in South Africa, exactly the same, but within the middle of the townships, the lights will be on with artificial courts until 12 a.m. in the morning. So kids are playing non-stop, and that is where they get their passion and their skills from. That is a little bit lost in South Africa at the moment, but just the passion for the game, I think on this side, that winning mentality that they have within their skin. We always talk about as South Africans, it's so difficult to play these North Africans because they're wasting time. They're doing everything in their power. To win the match.
Do you guys teach them at training, coach? Because it happens with all of them.
It's within their DNA. It's just a trait that they have here. They don't want to lose a small-sided game. If the game goes 3-0 and then the other team will give up, or they'll fight. There'll be fist fight and you have to stop the training. You cannot play a normal tournament, what you do on a regular basis. In South Africa, there's a small prize money and 4 teams of 5 against 5. You cannot do that here because it just gets so tense and everybody wants to win.
This is a training?
This is that training, yes. You often have to stop the training because of fist fights and that desire just to win. So that is one thing us South Africans, we have it too easy in South Africa, and here they'll do everything in their power, and that winning mentality, I think, is just within the DNA here in Morocco.
Coach, congratulations on your qualification, the highest qualification of the coaches, especially here in Southern Africa and in South Africa. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Pito's the only other one I can think of with a UEFA Pro license. A huge undertaking this on your behalf. Congratulations, Coach.
No, thank you. I think Coach Pito, I think, is the very first African to get the CAF Pro, which was held here in Morocco. So there's a few coaches that have the CAF Pro. I think with the UEFA Pro, I think Benny McCarthy and Stephen Pienaar are the first two to have.
Yes, I remember Stephen Pienaar, I think last year. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. Such a huge milestone, Coach. And armed with that, I'm pretty sure you're looking, beyond just Africa. You're looking at the world. At the moment, when you're playing, you're playing against the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, in the Arab Cup, and you literally have the best players in the world at your oyster that you're testing yourself and the coaches must against. It must be an exciting time for you.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I think it started in 2015 where we started with the UEFA B, and it's been a long journey. Lots of traveling, lots of sacrifices, sleepless nights, but all worth it. It's been an intense course over 16 months. And last week was the final block and the final graduation with our final tests and presentations that we had to complete. And finally, it's done. Graduated, and such a huge honor and a huge achievement. But it's been long, but worth it.
Do you think of coming home at any point to be a head coach? You hear of jobs here and there. You know how the availability of jobs shows up every now and then in the DStv Premiership. Does have a mid to high turnover of coaches. Do you ever, put a CV in or, make a call? Are you interested at all?
No, it's not about putting CVs in. It's there's been a couple of contacts, not from South Africa, for head coaching jobs, but you have to be professional. You have to focus on the task at hand. We will probably still be carrying on until the end of June. We have the last match now on the 14th, and then 21st we play the semi-final, and full focus on that. And let's see at the end of the season what happens. We still have a year contract, so it'll probably be another.
But the ambition is to one day be your own man, be a coach, or is this a relationship that you're gonna like to see out for a little bit longer, Coach? Have you thought that far?
We had long discussions after the Russia job, and I took the Maritzburg job, and there was possibilities for where Zimbabwe asked me to join him in certain jobs or countries, and I said no. After the Maritzburg United contract finished, and he asked me to join him, and I said okay, I'll do that for you right now, and we'll help build this club. And that's where I don't really like to make plans and say next I want to be head coach, but if the opportunity comes, you always look at it.
Coach, I want to just ask you one or two more questions. If we could just please quickly take a quick ad break. Very proud of the work that he's doing. Coach Fadlu David, who is an assistant to Joseph Zimbauer out at Raja Casablanca in Morocco.
The ShopRite price means you'll get low prices on everything you need. Like 1 kg Kellogg's cornflakes for only $69.99. 750 grams Nola mayonnaise for just $36.99. 400 mils Nivea body lotion, just $54.99 each. And Huggies Dry Comfort or Gold baby nappies or pants, only $189.99 each. Valid until 9 June. Only at ShopRite.
Be the future with Regent Business School. Invest in your future success with our accredited MBAs, postgraduate diplomas, degrees and certificates. We're not just an institution, we're your partners. Our 21st century approach in teaching and learning offers education for today's fast-paced world that allows collaborating, engaging and conquering real-world challenges with 25 years experience in distance learning. Visit regent.ac.za. Mid-year registration now open.
And they're off! Bet 50 Rand or more on horse racing with Hollywood Bets, and you could win over 2 million Rand in prizes, including a brand new Golf GTI or an Amoda Elegance S. Bet now to race to the finish line. T's and C's apply.
Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
1853 on the Mighty Metro FM. Son of the soil, very proud of Fadlu David, who's gone out and gotten his UEFA Pro license. Stands on the verge of having an invincible season. One more game to go, and a highest tally of any team historically out in Morocco alongside Joseph Zimbauer as they lead Raja Casablanca. Coach, I heard you mentioning Mamelodi Sundowns. How close are your tabs being kept to what's happening here locally?
No, I'd like to congratulate Coach Rulani Mokoena on a fantastic season. They really stamped their authority on the African continent, and all the teams here up in North Africa look up to Sundowns, enjoy, respect Sundowns, and fear Sundowns to a certain degree. The football they played this season, absolutely fantastic, and a huge congratulations to the entire Mamelodi Sundowns club. Orlando Pirates as well for a fantastic double cups. They've done extremely well, and of course the colleague and Steve Barker, unbelievable season with Stellenbosch getting to Africa. A fantastic season. I've been keeping tabs on the South African local PSL, and it's been quite an interesting campaign in the PSL.
Coach, you sit in a pool of coaches where you are, and you know, as much as you measure up teams and players, you measure up coaches as well. There's been a name of particular interest here in South Africa that you get to see and analyze perhaps his team and the way he does things. What are your thoughts on Nasruddin Nabi?
Yeah, he's been on top of the log with FAR Rabat the entire season up until last week. Quite a direct approach in terms of going forward, scoring with set pieces, really ruthless in terms of how he plays. Difficult always to play against. He's inherited a team that won the league last season, FAR Rabat as well. They've strengthened. They've made a couple of really good signings. So all I can say is it's been a tough battle. After the January break, they won 8 in a row. It was just now in the last 5 games where they dropped lost one game and drew one game. We were able to go above them. So it's been a tough neck and neck battle. We've always stayed close, but they were on top of the log since day one. We've drawn both of our matches against them. So I'm not sure if he continues at Far Rabat or wherever he goes, but quite a difficult coach to play against.
I'm very sure there's a contingent of people here in South Africa who are very happy to hear that. Coach, a very sour ending to this conversation, because I remember conversations I had when you left South Africa, and I wonder, do you still think back to what happened in Maritzburg United? And we never heard from you as far as that is concerned. It was very big allegations that were put against you by the chairman at the time. When you think back at that time at Maritzburg United, Coach, what is your response to it?
Yeah, I think that is why I stayed out of the media. It was quite concerning for things that were being said, and that's why I stayed out of the media and immediately just left it, because I have a huge respect for the chairman, Farouk Kadodia. He was hurt. We all were hurt. The entire city was hurt about what happened, and allegations against players for selling matches, which was ongoing throughout the season. And it continued, and you leave that chapter behind. There's lots of good that came out of Maritzburg. There's a lot of good times at Maritzburg. There's a lot of players we've sold at Maritzburg that you could even buy a PSL franchise from. You can go through all the players that have been sold under my tutelage. So it was a difficult ending towards a impossible job. I immediately came back from Russia, and everybody, after coaching Orlando Pirates the previous season in the CAF Confederations Cup final, and everybody was asking me, why do you take a team that is already relegated, bottom of the log, you go there? It's a team that is close to my heart, and it was really difficult to we finally got to 30 points at the end of the season, but it was just not enough to save the club in the playoffs. So a chapter that is closed, but I was watching them closely, hoping they could get promoted. It was up until the last day of the NFD, where they just missed out on the playoff spot. So they will be back. They have a huge, fantastic fans in the city, a huge Friday nights, what we created there. Fantastic football at that time, and I'm sure Maritzburg United will be back. A huge disappointment for the fans, a huge disappointment for the chairman, because I respect him immensely. And yeah, it's water under the bridge. I'm not a coach who holds grudges. It's emotional time at that moment, understandable, but all is forgiven and forgotten in the move on.
Coach, you're going to get the first bouquet of flowers from us when you arrive back in South Africa after the invincible season you're about to have. Very happy, very proud to shout your name and scream it high, because you really are carrying our flag. Thank you so much for talking to us. And when you do arrive, I'd love an hour's conversation on just coaching on the African continent and, just will we get it right, will we get it wrong? I think your direction, alongside those that have left the country and come back to employ here, will be such a great thing to have. Coach Fadlu Davids, all the best and thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Fadlu Davids, a history maker who's about to do exactly that. We really appreciate you. Where's Omar? Is he on? He's not on. You're still calling. Timmy, you're gone here. Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
I'm very well, thank
you. You look lovely.
Do you like the way I look?
I do.
Oh, thank you so much.
Is the stress of what is it called now? What are these things that we've been doing? Elections. Has it
subsided?
Yeah.
I think there's a general air of acceptance, but I think there's also anticipation for what government looks like. I think there's more of an anticipation of let's just start now. Let's start. Let's get past us having to be upset and let's get into the governance part, because we've also got 2026 to look forward to. So it's still there until we've got the first sitting of the National Assembly, until members of Parliament have been sworn in, until you know who your ministers are and your president and deputy president is. We still have a while to go.
Speaking of ministers, we're such a packed show. I forgot to say, Zizi Godwa, the Minister of Arts, Culture and Sport, saying, hey, enough is enough after appearing in court today. But what do you have going on?
Lots in store for us this evening. It is indeed a Business Wednesday. So we're going to start off with some business talk. In studio, we're joined by the founder of NutriSizwe, Bongani Melisizwe Zwane. They are an online holistic health store that offers nutritional health products as well as holistic health therapy services. We're going to be speaking with them. And then in studio as well this evening, we're joined by the Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene, as the strategic negotiations between parties are continuing. And of course, you would have heard, and he'll be willing to confirm this evening, that one of the demands that have been put forward by the Patriotic Alliance is for Kenny Kunene to become the Minister of Home Affairs. How exactly will that fare
I'm looking
out?
excited after the conversation you had yesterday with the MK.
Oh, is it?
Gee, was what a conversation. Tlakanipho, I think it is you're speaking to.
Ntlamulo. Yeah.
Ntlamulo, I was here to say one thing and he said it a million times in a million different ways.
And I was here to ask one way, which is, what are you going to do for the governance of the country? We're also going to be in conversation with our economist, Duma Kubula. This is regarding data released yesterday that South Africa's economy contracted in the first quarter of 2024. It is not good news, by the way. It is not good news. And then after 8 is going to be a conversation regarding public protector findings that were released about the report on difficulties experienced by gender-based violence victims in reporting cases. So this evening we're going to be focusing in from the Gender Commission. We're going to be speaking to the Public Protector's Office. We're going to be speaking to gender-based violence activists. We're going to be speaking to advocacy centers as well as the police. What are we getting wrong in terms of the way in which gender-based violence matters are handled in South Africa? So we're going to try to take a pause from politics, but you know it always gets exciting here. We're going to try to take a pause from politics because there are real issues that are being experienced by real people on the ground.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Just Faith. Omar Kaktugba. You know Omar Kaktugba, a friend of the room. He's been accredited, getting his accreditation for the Euros even. He was supposed to be on. Omar, you didn't answer your phone. I wanted to say something to you, but I want to give Omar the hour tomorrow. We've never had Omar for an hour because there's just so much to speak about. The Euros, Mbappe, as well as the big one, South Africa versus Nigeria. So let's do it tomorrow. Join us again at 7 o'clock, top of the hour, and we'll get into that. It's 3 after the hour 7 on the Mighty Metro FM. I'm off to Sport at 10 this evening on SABC 1 at 10 o'clock. Do catch Sport at 10, an exciting one and a great show again. But great conversations. Thank you to Fadlu Davids for speaking to us. He hasn't spoken to media since leaving Maritzburg United. The coach of Raja Casablanca coming on to have a conversation with us. The chairman of Baroka and the coach also coming on to have conversations with us. We really do appreciate you talking to us. Got to get out of here. Thank you for being part of the show. Timmy, ole para. Pela. And so me.
We don't play games. We wrote the game.
Up in here, it's burning.
Metro FM. It's where you want to be. Metro.